What it is, what is up, welcome back to my channel. It's a wrap, aka Yudi here. And from the title, you already know what this is about. This is the anticipated releases by Black authors for 2026. And baby, I have a bunch that I'm excited for. So, get comfy, grab your tea, grab your coffee, your cocktail, whatever you need to get through this video, because I have a couple of books to share. So let me not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. There's a lot of new releases coming out that I'm very excited for. And every time I thought I was going to cut myself off, I would be scrolling on social, TikTok, Instagram, and I'll see another release and I'll be like, there go another one. And then my list just kept growing. And if I don't film this now, this is going to be 100 books. Like, it's just going to be, whether or not I actually will read 100 books next year, that's another story. But there's a whole bunch of books I'm very excited for. Like I said, get comfortable because we're about to get into it. The first book I have, Ever Since We Small, and this is by Celeste Muhammad. She also wrote Pleasant View. She's coming out with another novel. This is an interconnected multi-story of this Indo-Trinidadian family that spans from generations, starting from India all the way to modern day Trinidad. This releases January 13th, so very soon. Some housekeeping. I will have all of the books linked in the description that I mentioned in today's video. I do have an affiliate code with bookshop.org, so if they are available on bookshop.org, I linked directly to the book as well. And I'll also have in the description a link to all of the anticipated releases for 2026 that I constantly update pretty much throughout the year. Also, throughout all 2026, I'll throw all of the 2026 releases by Black authors into that collection on my bookshop list. So if you're interested in that, I'll have that link below as well. I'll also link 2025. So if you're interested or you just want to see all the books or all the books that I'm aware of that are on bookshop.org that came out in 2025 by Black authors, if you're interested in any of them, I'll have them also linked, or have that list for 2025 linked below in the description. Moving on. January 15th, we have Grace by Chika Unigwe, I believe. And this comes out January 15th. I believe she is a UK author. I might be incorrect, but this is a novel about motherhood and finding yourself. This is about a woman named Grace who gives up her first child that she has at 15 and leaves home and recreates this whole new life. But this facade that she has built since leaving that all behind is broken when her parents come back into her life, her estranged parents. January 27th, there are two books coming out that I'm interested in. We have The Seven Daughters of Dupree, and I've seen this on a couple of people's lists. This is by Nikisha Elise Williams. This is also a multi-generational family epic, and it's following 7 generations of the women in the Dupree family and all the things that they navigate. I'll tell you whether or not I'm going to try to get an arc or a proof for it. I think I'm less ambitious than I was when I first started doing these, because when I first started doing them, I was like, I'm going to get an arc from all. And then some of them I didn't even end up reading. And then I felt bad that I got the arc and I didn't read them until like December. So, but this one I'm actually very interested in reading. This is, which I'll give my reason why after I explain. This is If I Rule the World by Amy Dubois Barnett. This is about an editor, a Black female editor named Nikki Rose, who's working in New York in 1999. And she is navigating working at a hip hop magazine. And within that, she's navigating her life and working at this hip hop magazine. I love these type of storylines, like these ones about Black women in like media and culture and how they navigate these spaces. So I'm very interested in this. My dream when I was younger, I wanted to work in publishing. Either way, I'm very excited to read this, and especially hip hop in 1999. Like, this is the peak, I think, of commercialized hip hop. So I'm very interested. We are moving into February. The next book we have is X's by Ladora Darlington. Let me read the line. This is what the line says. The book follows Natalie, a woman whose seemingly perfect life unravels as she uncovers a dark history connected to her dead ex-boyfriends. Yeah, so multiple of her ex-boyfriends are dead, and she discovers a dark connection. That's pretty much it. But I'm excited for this thriller. I love me a good, this year I think I've read, first of all, mystery and thriller has always been my favorite genre of book to read. This year I think I've read the most mystery thrillers that I've read in a while. So I'm very excited to pick up this one. And baby, when I tell you I'll be reading, this one I'm very excited for. Kin by Tayari Jones. She is coming out with another novel February 24th. I think she's most well known for An American Marriage. She's coming out with another novel. It's called Kin. Let me read the line. A novel about mothers and daughters, friendship and sisterhood, and the complexity of being a woman in the American South. Two characters, Vernice and Annie, are two motherless daughters from Louisiana, and they have been best friends since childhood. But Vernice, she leaves Honeysuckle, Louisiana for Spelman at 18, and then I believe she probably joins a sorority, and then Annie feels that absence and takes a completely different turn in life than Vernice does. And I think it just kind of follows the path that these two friends take. Anytime Kennedy Ryan drops something, y'all know it's like it's a problem. It's a problem in the bookish space. Give that lady her things. But she is dropping Score, which actually I might read because I read Real, and Real, I think out of all of her books, I think most people say they enjoy the most. I really enjoyed Real. But this is in, I guess, the Real realm universe. Score is a second chance romance, and it's between a screenwriter and a musician. We'll see. I did read, again, I read Real, I read Before I Let Go. Before I Let Go, I did have a lot of opinions on it. Again, I wonder if I can do multiple tags, but I'll link my review for Before I Let Go. Unpopular opinions incoming, y'all. Unpopular opinions incoming. Please don't attack me, but when people be attacking Before I Let Go, usually be on some BS. It really do. It'd be on some BS. And I think that there's actually, I would read Before I Let Go for a book club. I think there's some good discussion about relationship and partnership that you can get from that book. Okay? But it just wasn't my personal favorite. Moving on, we have With Love from Harlem. And this one is a romantic drama. I think it's a historical romantic drama because it's based in Harlem in 1943. It's about Hazel Scott, a 23-year-old jazz prodigy, but also a fierce advocate for civil rights. And she meets Adam Clayton Powell, who's a preacher turned politician. Interesting. He's also married. This is giving Harlem Rhapsody, which I'm currently listening to, and I'm asking myself if I should probably read it because it's not hitting the way I thought it was going to hit. And I love me a good historical drama, but there's some disconnect happening. It's not gelling the way I thought it was going to gel. But hopefully this is more interesting. Are these real people? I'm going to have to look because I'm not sure. Moving on. March 31st, we have Phases, which is Brandy's memoir. I love Brandy. I do. I love Brandy's catalog. I remember when I was younger, this is when flip phones, which is crazy to think that that was flip phone era, or we didn't have apps yet, but I would record clips of songs. So I think it was Talk About Our Love, Take This Ring by Toni Braxton, because I used to love that song. And I can never remember the third song I had on my phone, but I just used to play Talk About Our Love over and over again. And of course, who doesn't love Full Moon? I feel like Full Moon just kind of sonically changed the way that we thought about Brandy. And also Moesha. I went and rewatched Moesha when I was in college, and I was thoroughly entertained. But yeah, she's coming out with a memoir, and I think there's so much that we don't know about Brandy. We know, but we don't know her, with her inner turmoils and thoughts when she was going through these things. I'm not going to name them all. Well, I am going to name some. Like the scandal when we found out that we thought she was married, but she wasn't married. And this is not really scandal because I feel like she was probably, 25, 26? When did she have her first child? She was in her 20s. Like, it's not like she was young. Okay, like she was young, but she wasn't young. Okay, you would have thought that she was 16 and pregnant when Brandy announced that she was pregnant. And there was a whole thing around that. And then remember when she got into that car accident? I kind of feel awkward bringing it up, but that was a whole nother thing too. And then there was a 7-Eleven era, but there was an era, especially early days of like Instagram, like early Twitter, and like she was kind of, we're all like, is baby girl having a mental, like, what is she going through? Like, she was pulling was it subliminals? Was it not subliminals? I'm not sure. Okay. And then, there's a beef with Monica that I feel like we thought they were beefing longer than they were actually beefing. I think when they came out with the, they did a song after The Boy Is Mine. It all belongs to me. Yeah, it all belongs to me. And I feel like by then they had made up, but people would not let the beef or whatever was happening during The Boy's Mind, which they were teenagers. So but there's so much that Brandy in the relationship with her brother, and let's not talk about Ray J, but there is so much that we know, but we don't know what, like Brandy for me is like a Mariah. Like I felt like I enjoy Mariah Carey's biography because there's so much. That's probably the most that we're ever going to get about how she feels about her relationship with Nick Cannon. Okay, that's probably the most we're ever going to get about, her trials and her tribulations and her mental breakdown that she had during Glitter. Like, I felt like she gave us a lot because she really don't be giving us nothing. So Brandy is another one that really doesn't give us much. So I'm very interested in her kind of recounting her own thoughts and feelings during these moments of her life. And, from when she was a child up until present time, and her relationship with music. And just like there's so much that we don't know that I think maybe biographies aren't for everybody. I don't know what's going to happen when these artists that came up in like 2010s and later, when it's time to write a biography, because I feel like a lot of these artists share so much. Like, how much can you possibly say in a book? You share, like, you're on TikTok live for 3 hours giving the ins and outs of your situation. Like, I already reserved it on Libby. So baby, when this comes out March 31st, I'm pretty sure I'm first in line to get this audiobook, and I'm gonna be listening. So in April now. Next book we have is Leave Your Mess at Home by Tolani Akinola. 3 siblings. We start with the eldest, Sola, who comes back to Chicago, gets feeling shame because now she is a failed influencer and single. And Jola, who is, I think, dealing with her sexuality. All in all to say is that the 3 siblings, all of them are dealing with something, but also the story of their reunion. April 21st, Somewhere Soft to Land by Kailante. This is a story about friendship. In this crackling portrayal of friendship in peril, a young mother's world is upended when a tragedy in her best friend's life tests the boundaries of their sisterhood. A sharp and compelling debut novel from a Ghanaian American writer. I don't think I read a lot of African writers this year, but last year some of my favorite books that I read were from African writers. How did they do it? I don't know. Okay, moving on. Kiss, Marry, Kill by Yemi Dipeolu. This is a thriller, and I think someone gets killed at the character's wedding. Yes. So Ife, she is marrying her husband Ade, and then Ade is arrested for murder. Yeah, I'm going to try to get the arc on that one. Kiss, Marry, Kill comes out April 23rd. April 7th. This one I'm very excited for. I think Mame by Jessica George. The second I read it, I was like, I need this on my shelf. It was like a toned down Queenie for me. And I know Queenie is a controversial one. I know people who love Queenie, and people who hate Queenie hate it. All in all to say, Jessica George is coming out with her sophomore novel, Love by the Book. And this is a story about friendship. And Simone and Remy bump into each other literally in a bookstore. It isn't exactly soulmates at first sight. Simone is guarded and prickly, Remy is insecure and heartbroken, and each woman is harboring a secret. And yet, they might just be the missing piece the other has been searching for, if only they can let each other in. I think we need more friendship stories, you know, in this world where we are constantly talking about romantic. But I mean, also we are talking about, I think just being in relationship with people, period, feels so contentious, feels very contentious these days, because I do see a lot of content about friendships and letting friendships go and people who don't serve you. And we talk about friendship in the same contentious way that we talk about romantic relationship. I mean, also family. Look, capitalism is literally at its last leg. Like, we are literally in the twilight zone of capitalism. All I can say is all this discourse, what does it go back to? Y'all, capitalism. That's it. That's what I'm gonna say. Did I already say this comes out April 7th? I'm excited. Next, we're moving into May. Next, we have Honey by Imani Thompson. And this is, I don't know, can I call it a thriller? I don't know what to consider this, but it's about a graduate student who murders bad men in the name of feminism. Okay, moving on, May 12th, we have Harlem Wedding, another Harlem novel by Tiffany L. Warren. This is a book about love, notoriety, Black excellence, deception, and très chic lifestyles of the Black elite. Okay, it's going to be a critical look at the Black elite? I don't know. This is about Yolande the boy. And that's the only child of W.E.B. Du Bois. He gets married, is living the fairy tale life, but her carefully constructed fairy tale begins to crumble, torn between the expectations of her father and society and her heart's true desire. Yolande is forced to decide whether she must leave Harlem to create a more authentic life on her own terms. Okay, moving on. We all know Walter Mosley. Okay, Devil in a Blue Dress. I think this is what he's most known for. I haven't read the book. You might have seen the movie with Denzel Washington. He is coming out with another novel. It is not related to Easy Rawlins. This is called Ghalen, and this is a coming of age novel. And I think he, in the promotion, is being considered a romance. Ghalen is a brilliant young Black man and is the son of two seemingly mismatched parents. His mother, and a gifted scientist, whose own mother expected her to exceed all the achievements in her family, and his father, a gentle cook at a small vegetarian restaurant, whose idiosyncratic nature shows the young woman a radically different love and understanding of life, despite his inexperience and lack of education. His parents' grand love story starts it all off, setting us up to follow Ghalen and his family so deeply that each new twist and turn feels personal. Moving on, we have Smallie. I think this is also a UK writer. I might be wrong. Smallie, Eden McKenzie-Goddard. And this follows family that's thrown into a disarray with the Windrush scandal. And I think the Windrush is the wave of Jamaicans who came to England. I think it's the 60s. Yeah, the 60s. Look at me. Look at history. Look at history just coming up in my brain. But I think what happens in the book is that the mother is trying to prove that she is in the country legally and that she can stay. Nearly 50 years later, Lucinda receives a letter from the Home Office that threatens to tear her world apart. Her children rally together to prove her legal arrival. And to do so, they must track down an elusive man from her past, a man she wanted to love but instead lost, a man who now holds the key to her family's future, Raldo. Okay, another one. I'm going to pick up another one. I think this is one of the books that I reviewed at the very beginning of my channel, and that is My Government Means to Kill Me by Rashid Newson. I don't feel like I talk about this novel enough and how much I enjoyed it. He's coming out with another novel, and that is There's Only One Sin in Hollywood. And this is, I think it's a mystery or a thriller. This is actually what the line that he shared, because I saw that he shared his book on Threads. So a backlot fixer's daring investigation into the suspicious death of a closeted Black actor within the glamorous world of 1960s Hollywood. Okay, moving on. Another book that I had to pick up. This is also a book I reviewed earlier on my channel, Rootless by Krystle, Zara, Appiah. I think it is a very interesting conversation about womanhood, motherhood, mental health, marriage, and family. But Krystle, Zara, Appiah, this was her debut novel. She's coming out with her sophomore novel, Half Lives. Evelyn and Maggie are sisters. So Evelyn has an accident and she can no longer have children. And then Maggie has a child, or she's in a relationship and she ends up having a child that she doesn't actually want to care for, or she wants to get rid of. So Evelyn, because she can't have children, takes the child, and they grow up, and I think Evelyn ends up going to the US. Maggie ends up changing her mind, and then drama ensues. Next book we have is Summer Girlfriend by Christina Forrest. I don't own Neighbor Favor, and there was a whole series. It was like Neighbor Favor, Partner Plot, I think Love Lyric. I think those are the 3 books in the series. It was about all the individual sisters and their like love journey. But Neighbor Favor is the first one in the book, and it was just it was like fluffy, but it didn't make me believe in love again. Like it just was so fluffy. It felt like it was forgettable for me, for the Neighbor Favor. But she's had so many other novels, and she's coming out with another one, which is The Summer Girlfriend, which seems kind of interesting. I think this is a fake dating trope. A girlfriend and a handsome business heir find their fake summer fling is feeling way too real. So I do enjoy, I'm not gonna lie, I do enjoy a good fake dating trope. Next, this is one I'm actually excited for. I think I've read the only book I started and I never finished. The only book I have not read by this is Tia Williams. Another book coming out in June. Let me just say the book first before I start ranting. It's The Misconnection by Tia Williams. Supposedly she's coming out with another book, y'all, in June. I haven't done my wrap up yet, and it's not coming out probably until the beginning of January and of December. But I read Audrey and Bash Are Just Friends, and for a YA I had such a good time. But again, she's coming back with The Misconnection, and this is about a woman who meets a man on an airplane, and it's pretty much a misconnection. So she does all she can to find this man. Like, she gotta find this man who was in seat, I think it says the seat number. He was in CF, okay? So, and her name is Sasha. So Sasha is a booked and busy girl. Like, she's living her life, and she's on this plane, and she has this amazing connection with this man. And it's a misconnection because after he gets off the plane, she's all like, I don't know his name. And you know what? This summary hit because, baby, I was in the same situation not that long ago. Okay, I had a great conversation, and then the person left, and I was all like, I didn't even get your name. I didn't get your name. But, I was never going to find that person. So there we go. But Sasha might. So we're going to read it. Yeah. I don't think there's any book by the Tia Williams I have not read. So all the books that I have by Tia Williams, of course, I picked up 7 Days in June by her. I still had to share my favorite book by Tia Williams. It would be The Perfect Find. The Perfect Find is still my favorite book by her. Listen to the audiobook again, not that long. I listened to it when they came out with the Netflix movie. The Netflix movie was terrible, but I listened to it, and I don't even like age gap like that. But yeah, we're moving on. The controversial book that I brought up earlier, July 2nd. Okay, Queenie's making a comeback. We get an update about Queenie, okay? Queenie is working on it, and we're following Queenie 10 years later. I do think that the series is better. I think Candice Carty-William was the executive producer, or she played an integral part in the filming of that series, and you can tell that the author was closely connected because it followed the book pretty much to a T, but also the things that were fixed were, I think, were the issues in the book. So I don't know if that series is going to get a sequel. I enjoyed the series way more than I enjoyed the book, but also I think there's also some things that people don't like about the book that if you don't like some main parts that make the book what it is, like if you don't like that, you're not gonna like the series. He's making a comeback. We get her 10 years later. Okay, has she got together? I don't know. Okay, moving to July 30th, we're almost done. Oh, This is the last book from authors I've already read. Damilare Kuku. It was between, of course, I've read both her books, Nearly All the Men in Lagos Are Mad and Only Big Bum Mad Tomorrow. But Nearly All the Men in Lagos Are Mad, I think this is the one that she's most known for. It's a collection of short stories of women's dating experiences or relationship experiences in Lagos, Nigeria. And this was a ride. But she's coming out with another ride. Okay, and you can tell from the title, title, she don't be missing. This is Women Rent Men and Secrets Here. This is the line that I'm taking without sharing too much. The book lays bare the double standards women face in relationships, sexuality, and the unforgiving court of public opinion. Juicy is accused of killing her sugar daddy. Aura is a writer. She's like, girl, I didn't do this. Share my story. And then if she was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to get the whole, shebang Obama. Just made that up. But yeah, and then she gets caught up in this world of trying to find the truth. And then we're in August. Oh my gosh, we already made it to August. But this is the last book I have. It's Soft Spot by Layla Renee. This is her debut novel. It's a coming of age story, and it's following a college graduate after she runs away from her family. So let me know which ones you're excited for. Let me know which ones. There was some that I was just like, I don't know if I want to share. But let me know which books I didn't mention that you're excited for that are coming out next year. There's books on this list that you're very excited for that you also agree. Share that in the comments as well. And as always, we can continue our discussion in the comments. And until next time, you all deuces.